And we're back. Welcome back to the Retirement Decoded podcast. I'm your host, Scott Tucker, and this is Associate Advisor Max Wren. Say hello, Max Wren.
Hello, Max Wren.
Max Wren, Camera 1, Camera 2. For those of you in Peoria, we are now on YouTube at tuckeryoutube.com. It's probably the easiest way to find us, so it's tuckeryoutube.com. Every Monday morning, 0500 hours, we have a new podcast, Retirement Decoded podcast, coming at you. Max, we've been getting a lot of viewers on the Retirement Decoded podcast.
Yeah, it's been picking up.
What's interesting about that, when we were doing just the audio only, there are some weeks where we'd only get 40 listens across all the podcast platforms.
Yep.
We switch over to the video version with YouTube, and I think the first week we were on YouTube with the same podcast, but at tuckeryoutube.com, like almost 500 views.
Yeah, people like seeing us. What can I say?
Well, Max, I noticed that myself is I'm a big podcast guy. I'm a big audio content guy. So I won't always, if I sit down and read a book, or if I lay on the couch, if I lay on the couch and read a book, it is good night, Irene. I'm going to wake up hours later.
Same. Yeah. Wake up at like 3 a.m.
But I will, if it's audio, whether it's talk radio, podcast, YouTube, something a lot of folks don't know, and I don't know that everybody wants to spend money on this, but I have like those, I have those big Apple headphones.
Yeah.
The Apple AirPod Max, whatever.
Yeah, Air Maxes.
Yeah. I don't like how much they cost at all. If you go to any kind of loud environment,
expensive.
Yeah, if you go to any kind of loud environment, like you fly in an airplane, there's a noise canceling button, but also you can have a clearer phone conversation.
Yeah,
it's just amazing all of it, what it does. You can have it non-noise noise blocking too, so people can talk to you while you have them.
Yep.
Or you can just block everybody out. Like go to a noisy restaurant, block them out.
It's like my favorite.
Like breakfast restaurant, clingy clangy dishwasher guy.
Yep.
Block it out. And so there's all of that. I forgot I was going with all that. Anyway, so something YouTube does that's pretty cool, and this is not a paid placement. YouTube has this thing for $22 a month. They will get rid of, I was talking to Andre about this the other day. You know how they have that lock screen thing on your iPhone?
Yeah, you can't watch it when it's locked.
Yeah, or like
listen to stuff.
You get out of the YouTube app on your iPhone, and the audio stops, video stops.
Yep.
For $22 a month, they call it YouTube Premium, I think.
Yeah.
You can get out of that window and go do other stuff on your phone, and the audio keeps playing, and it's playing through maybe your Apple AirPod Max, whatever noise device you have, or just your phone speaker. Although, please don't be one of those folks who plays does speakerphone calls in public or blast YouTube at restaurants. I can't stand those people.
My train ride every morning, Scott.
That's
every morning.
That's what pepper spray was made for.
I wish.
So Max, you have those AirPod Max. You ought to on the blue line. You ought to put those on and put them on the noise blocking. Just keep your head on a swivel though.
Yeah. I don't sit where your back's completely. You can't see what's going on. I kind of like sit sideways in the chairs now. Yeah. Especially after what happened earlier last year.
You don't want anybody to sneak up behind you.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't want that happening.
I was in the military. I was in the Navy. I was never infantry. I wasn't a Marine or anything like this. I was never a police officer. But there's a thing from PTSD, which I didn't think you could get PTSD just from regular military service. And recently the VA told me I was wrong. There's a thing called there's a lot of like time drills and high stress and ops tempo and work on the flight deck, a lot of things.
Yeah, they reprogram you, don't they?
They very much do. And one of the side effects of PTSD is hypervigilance.
Oh yeah, I could see that.
So what I do is when I go somewhere, Natalie always wants to sit in like the seat where she can see everything.
Yeah.
Like no, switch that up.
The door and exit guy.
You can stare at the back wall or the kitchen door. I want to see the entrance. I want to see what's going on. So we argue about that a little bit.
Got your piece right there, right?
Yeah. And some folks now we're in Chicago, belly of the beast, right?
Belly of the beast.
We're in Chicago. A lot of folks who are not in Chicago, they still think it's like the old days where there is no concealed carry in Illinois. There was we're going to get around to a retirement question here in a minute. There was a Heller decision. I think it was McDonald versus. Well, there was a Heller decision. There was a gentleman. His last name was Heller in the District of Confusion, and he sued because the DC said he had no right to own a firearm in his own home.
Wow.
Chicago used to have a similar thing, and there was Mr. McDonald, a black man, South Side. He had a problem. Somebody breaking into his garage or something. Like the city of Chicago arrested, and Cook County tried to prosecute him for owning a firearm, whatever. And so there was the McDonald v. Chicago decision, and there was also the Heller versus DC, I think was the other lawsuit. So some number of years ago, Chicago finally had to allow its residents to own firearms in their own homes.
I mean, all the criminals already got a gun. So
I know, it's like the sitting duck.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that kind of decriminalized the good guys owning guns in their own home about 15 years ago, maybe. And maybe about 10 or 11 years ago, there was a Illinois Supreme Court case the state of Illinois lost. And the Illinois Supreme Court gave, I think it was 60 or 90 days to the state legislature, like you better pass a concealed carry law. Yeah. And so we've had concealed carry in the state of Illinois for about 11 years now. One problem with the CTA, public transportation and Illinois state law, public transportation is a gun-free zone. It's exactly the place you need the gun.
Exactly. Gun or a knife or something.
Now they do have, we're going to come back to retirement planning question in a minute. It's just story time for a minute. They did have a gentleman about a year or two ago riding from downtown Chicago through the Austin neighborhood on the west side on the Blue Line. And he was riding to his home in Oak Park. And Austin's a pretty rough neighborhood in between.
Yeah.
And on the Blue Line, we're short police officers in Chicago anyway, short about 2,000 police officers. Most of the police officers are on mandatory overtime. They might get a day off every 3 or 4 weeks. It's pretty crazy.
Yep.
And so this gentleman was carrying concealed on the train, which is illegal, the good guy.
Yep.
And a gentleman tried to rob him, I believe it was at gunpoint or knife point on the Blue Line, and he was in that Austin neighborhood area where the guy could jump on, jump off, try to elude the law enforcement. But the good guy shot the bad guy on the train. So they stop the train in Austin. They call Chicago Police Department. They respond. And what's interesting is the officers, the Chicago Police Department officers, they don't make an arrest and they don't write it up. Okay. And so, and this happens frequently in Chicago with a good guy does not get arrested. And then the Cook County State's attorney, which may lean in a different direction, they're viewing law enforcement.
Yep. They
don't ever get to charge the guy because they don't even have they don't have the guy arrested. They don't have him in custody. They might have had some paperwork with the guy's name on there, but now what are they going to do? Now they would look like the bad guy. Like what are they going to do? Send the sheriff to go pick him up?
Right.
So that goes under the rug. The media doesn't follow up on it very well, and it just kind of goes under the rug, and the good guy just goes home with his gun back in his holster.
That's how it should be.
And the bad guy goes to the hospital. I think that guy.
Bag, hopefully.
Well, yeah, I think that guy lived, which don't want to see anybody die, but when you're going to threaten somebody's life, you get what you have coming to you. Unfortunately, if the guy lives and if he repeats, if he doesn't learn his lesson, he repeats, then that's not so good.
It's that line and Blue Line, it can be kind of pretty dangerous too, just because the time between stops is a little longer as well. So someone walks on, I mean, they have a good 5-10 minutes between stops.
Got you trapped on there.
Yeah.
Max, I went recently to Cook County Circuit Court out in Rolling Meadows.
Yep.
Natalie and I live in Mount Prospect, and there was a young lady who was attacked outside her home. And Mount Prospect's a pretty safe area. Yeah. They hadn't had a sexual assault, I believe it was 9 years.
Wow.
So this gentleman, I use the term loosely, homeless, 35-year-old man, he comes up behind this lady who just gotten home. She lives with her family. It's a Filipino family. I just happened to see them in court. I went to the court hearing the other day. Filipino family, and there looked to be the father and the mother, and either the victim and her sister or two sisters, something like that. So I was just sitting in the back watching, just to keep an eye on things like what's the court going to do with this? Because in Cook County we have a lot of lax prosecution.
Yeah, or them trying to get charges down so their crime rates look better. So.
Yeah, right. That's another way to game the numbers, sort of like on that HBO show The Wire.
Yes, great show, guys.
Yeah, the bodies are in the vacants, right?
Yep.
So in Mount Prospect, this lady was coming home. Now it was like 11:30 or 12:30. It was right around midnight, and she pulls in the driveway. She goes to get whatever out of her car. This 35-year-old homeless man, pretty fit-looking guy, Hispanic guy. Don't care what his name is. His last name happens to be Gonzalez. I don't care. I'm not making any allegation about his race, his ethnicity, or his legal status, his immigration status. I don't care about any of that. But he comes up behind this lady. He puts her in a chokehold. He bangs her head on the concrete a couple of times. He tries to sexually assault her. The only reason she's alive, her dad heard her scream. He comes outside and he pulls the guy off. I saw her dad in court. He's
big guy.
No, he's Filipino. He's shorter than me by an inch maybe, and lighter than me by some lbs. And so but that adrenaline, and it's your daughter. So he was able to kind of pull the guy off, hold him down, whatever. Somebody or another called the police. The Mount Prospect police are no nonsense, and there's a lot of them, pretty well staffed.
That's good.
They got there quickly. They put the gentleman into custody. And so I was just at the court making sure that they're actually going to do, showing support for prosecution and showing support for the victim.
So is it one of these judges here where they're going to try to, get the least amount of charges charged against them so their crime rates still look good, or what's
I'll
the
say
deal?
this:
the judge. It was a pretrial hearing. It was sort of like a probable cause hearing.
Okay.
The next hearing is arraignment.
Okay.
She did do a couple things that were great. She kept him in custody, did not offer him a bond, because the Illinois Safety Act, if it's not life-threatening, after the arrest, the guy gets to go home free. Like for carjackings, you can get out for $1,000.
Yeah, they call it. Don't they call it like car trespassing here?
I would call it
vehicle trespassing.
I would call it digging your own grave. You're not.
That's how it should be.
You're probably not going to come out all right on this one.
Yep.
So she did keep the alleged rapist in custody. She did also demand a DNA sample because he might be tied to other crimes.
Easily.
Yeah. And his arraignment's like a month later. Now, there was one moment of levity. There were other cases that got called. Mm-hmm. One of them that was funny. There was a Hispanic man about maybe 25 years old.
Okay.
And something's weird. I'm not a big President Trumper ICE arrestor guy. Mm-hmm. And we do have a high Hispanic population in Cook County and even
very high.
Yeah, and even in northwestern Cook County where this court is. There's about 25-year-old Hispanic looking guy, Hispanic name, whatever. I don't know where he's from, if he's here legally or not. The judge did have to read a lot of weird stuff. She had to keep reading this for everybody. She had to keep reading this statement. If you're a foreign national, you have the right to notify your consulate and seek assistance, whatever. Like that same thing had to go all the way through. Now it could be the white born here guy. She had to read that. No, if you can notify your consulate, and the white guy's standing there going like, what?
Yeah. Right.
And then there was a black lady, and she's like born here black lady. She's from the accent, you could tell and stuff.
Yep.
And she goes, no, if you're a foreign national, and the black lady's like, what are you talking about? But then they had probably 60% happened to be Hispanic that were facing charges. Most were using the public defender. Oh, here's one thing that makes me mad. This guy who's the rapist, who has the paperwork, Mount Prospect Police Department wrote up, said no permanent address.
Okay.
That is a polite way of saying he's homeless.
Right.
So it was a 35-year-old homeless Hispanic man that attacked this girl, this Filipino girl, near downtown Mount Prospect, about a block north. And what made me confused and angry, everybody else, most of the other people are using the public defender. The homeless guy, who's the alleged rapist, who's 35 years old, no permanent address, somebody paid for a public defender for him. He was defended by a law firm.
Wow.
So who's funding that?
George Soros?
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm just kidding, guys.
Yeah, I know. Well, who knows? Well, George does fund some things. You could go to tuckerretirement.com, get in our phone calendar. We'll talk about it. We'd rather talk about retirement planning, but this is some of the comings and goings. Now, there was one funny thing, though. Out of all that, there were a couple funny things. A couple of the characters got arrested for different things. It was kind of funny. One guy who got arrested for something is pretty funny, 25-year-old Hispanic man. He broke into a car. He hotwired the car.
Okay.
It was a manual transmission. He could not drive the car, and he was messing around with the car so long trying to figure out how to shift it. The police responded and arrested him. Now he's not going to be driving a car for a while. Yeah, he's lucky somebody didn't. You can't shoot somebody for property. Now, here's what you could possibly do. Don't try this at home, not specific advice. You could stand in front of your own car, and as the guy's grinding the gears, shoot him through the windshield, saying you're in fear for your life. He was about to put it in first gear.
Okay, well, I've seen that on the news before too.
Not specific advice. So we have a question, Max, from Linda. Now we are in Chicago. Linda happens to be in Park Ridge, just kind of across the street, across Higgins Road from us. But we are federally licensed. We can help Americans all across the country and in its territories, Americans and green card holders. Hey, green card holders, there you go.
Yep.
And all throughout the United States and its territories. Linda from Park Ridge happens to be near our office. We're near O'Hare, for those of you in Peoria. Max, I'm turning 62 this year. Should I take Social Security now or should I wait?
It's a fun question, Linda, isn't it?
Well, Max, she could file at 62. Now, there's something that people get confused about. They say, well, if I don't file at 62 every year, I get an 8% raise for waiting.
Yeah.
But it's not quite true between 62 and your full retirement age. For a lot of folks, full retirement age might be 67.
Right.
Everybody's a little different. So from 62, Linda, to age 67, every year you defer your Social Security benefit, you get a raise of 6 2/3% plus the cost of living allowance, excluding food and energy. Could be good to wait, huh, Max? Not to file at 62.
I'd say most times it is better to wait. Now, trying to get people to actually do that, it's a whole different ball game, isn't it, Scott?
It's like, I don't mean to turn the tables like, well, I'm 53 and I'm getting into it where I'm almost our target audience.
You're getting
But I was going to say, it's almost like, I don't want to talk down to people, but it's almost like when you're a little kid and you don't want to brush your teeth.
It's exactly what it is.
But you don't want them to fall out, right? When you get older, you figure out you don't want them to fall out.
And for some reason, even with healthcare getting better and people's life expectancies, kids being born today's kids' life expectancies are 120 plus. People still think they're going to die in their 70s or really early. So
They'll say, well, my dad died at 79. How was his health? Oh, he's a chain smoker. He drank a bottle of whiskey every day.
Yep.
He was a skateboarder. He was diabetic. All these things at one time.
So we'll have this conversation with folks, and even their parents will still be around, late 80s, early 90s, or so forth, and they're still trying to have that conversation. Well, I'm probably not going to be around later. So
we've got a client. Oh, geez, what is she? 72 now, I think, and her mom's 102. And you asked the 102-year-old to say, hey, when you were 62, did you think you'd be 102? No, I did not.
Yep.
I thought,
Yep.
85,
Yeah. I was reading a statistic today, and for, sorry, I'm going to say sorry, Scott, preface it with this.
Oh, no.
For everyone that's under 40 years old right now, their life expectancies are all expected to be over 100. So,
wow.
Yep.
So that's not unlikely. Yeah. We have a number of folks that are past 100. We have somebody, at least one client past 100. We encounter folks all the time. Most folks come to see us. They start with us typically between 55 and 70 years of age. Now we do have younger. We do have much older. But we've got a number of folks where their parents are in their late 90s.
Yeah.
So we've got a whole bunch of them about to turn 100. And it's just to keep on ticking.
I mean, my grandparents are all in their early 90s right now, and I think they all have a good 10 plus years ahead of them. So
wow, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to either save. Well, you are saving a ton. Either you got to work till you're 85 or continue to save a ton.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
So,
Max is a real good. Of course, he's a financial planner. He should be a good saver, right? He shouldn't be a bum.
Yeah, I'm one of those people where I invest way more than I spend. So
that's a really good habit.
Yep.
I know Syed is that way, and Andre, Julie's that way too.
Nice.
And yeah. I'm a good spender, but I make darn sure. I've been doing this for too long. I've seen a number of people come. Well, you've seen it too. People come see us. We don't mean to meet with people that have very little saved for retirement, but it does happen.
Yep.
The average American, I heard the stat the other day, it's $900 some. The average American has less than $1,000 saved for retirement. Now that does include young people, like 20-year-olds, but it's something like half of Americans have less than 10,000 saved.
Yeah, I mean, we talk a lot with a lot of folks who are in their early 60s, mid 60s, and they only have $50,000, $100,000 saved up. It's
yeah. Now through our marketing means, we try to target folks who have more. If we do a direct mail campaign to fill an in-person workshop at the library or whatnot, we have ways through the list brokers and things where we can mail it just to people that have $1 million plus in investable assets. What's funny about that, sometimes people come to our workshops and then make an appointment with us. We had somebody come see us last week, the husband and wife together, net worth of $15 million.
Yep.
What was nice about them is they didn't think their stuff didn't stink. The very next meeting, Max sits down with somebody, and they had $5 million investable, excluding real estate, $5 to $10 million, and they thought they were hot snot.
Yeah.
And Max had to tell them this might not be a fit because they're just not nice people.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, I'm a young guy. I'm in my early 30s, but I ran probably a good, 10,000 plus meetings at this point, and that was top 3 worst ever. My gosh, never seen people have that kind of attitude and be so disrespectful, and it was insane. It was crazy.
I don't believe that people that have money are evil. I don't, and they saved it all. Just like the folks that I sat down with. You were in part of the meeting that I was in, that people had like 12 million investable out of 15 million because they had 3 million in real estate. Yeah, those people were so nice. And then poor Max, the very next meeting, I think it was you and Saida that sat down with the next couple. Yeah. And right away, it wasn't so much the husband. The husband wasn't great, but the wife was on fire. Yeah, it was. It felt a little bit like I was talking to a 12-year-old. It's really crazy. It was, it doesn't cost anything to be nice, right? And I can be. if somebody's wasting my time or being disrespectful, I can be as gruff as anybody. But if I know how you are with folks, you're very polite and respectful and considerate, and you want to just show folks what the blind spots might be. That's our goal when we talk to folks. Right. You can go to tuckerretirement.com, get on our phone counter, tuckerretirement.com, 15 minutes for free over the telephone. Our goal is just to show you your blind spots, and most everybody has them. Now, we're financial planners. We work on investments, tax planning for retirement, which is for the future, not for the past. Medical and healthcare planning, Medicaid asset protection trust, estate planning, legacy planning, we should call it. We're not attorneys, so we work with an outside law firm for that. So legacy planning, avoid the Illinois estate tax or the estate tax or inheritance tax in your state if you have one. Show folks how to leave assets tax-free to their kids and grandkids rather than tax-deferred.
Yep.
It's one that people have a blind spot of. And then the other thing we help folks with is to have an income plan for retirement so they potentially do not run out of money. I have to say potentially, Max.
Yeah, potentially.
So Linda, you should get on our phone calendar at tuckerretirement.com, and because we have to run your numbers and your spouse's numbers if you're married, and we do help same-sex couples too. So if that's the case, that's fine too. And if there's an age difference, there's usually a difference in Social Security wages. We don't want to turn on a benefit at 62 typically unless you have a terminal illness, and if you're married, maybe not even then, because you could harm your surviving spouse. But we want to get you the largest possible Social Security benefit, and we would like to, by the time you're on Social Security, maybe at age 70 or closer to age 70, we'd like to receive all of the Social Security free from federal income taxes.
Yeah.
A lot of folks screw this up. They end up paying federal income tax on up to 85% of their Social Security benefits, and that kind of stinks. So get on our phone calendar at tuckerretirement.com. We'll go through all the ins and outs, ifs, ands, and buts. There's a lot that goes into this. And there are ways for probably 90% of the people that come see us, Max, are ways for us to potentially eliminate federal income tax on all of their Social Security for the rest of their lives. We have a 5-year proprietary tax planning process that we use. And for 90% of the folks that come see us, we can get them 5 years from now to 0 federal and 0 state income taxes for the rest of their lives. The only time something gets in the way there is if one spouse has a large monthly pension, say like $5,000 a month, then we maybe get some tax savings, but not a full erasure of retirement income taxes. Yep. So, well, it's been fun and it's been real. TuckerRetirement.com. We'll talk to you on the next podcast.